Oh, does that one work?
Yeah, this one might work. You just have to find the mic 4.
Will it reach over here?
Probably.
Yeah. Oh, that one.
Oh wait, this one's a lot better to use.
He's on mic 5 with the headphones for mic 4.
Oh, you see. Actually,
Hold on.
Move this way. Move.
I'm moving.
Move.
I'm moving.
All right, now you come in.
There we go.
Thanks.
All right.
There we go.
Just ignore the fact that there's a second mic next to your face.
Okay.
Yeah, right? Just put both mics on for him.
You smell like onions.
You guys smell like
Rico.
cigarettes.
I don't smoke cigarettes, so your
Yeah,
statement is faulty.
Yeah, I know it's not because of you. Hey, she started.
So you put me in it?
Yeah, he did. What are you gonna do about it, wife?
You guys are kind of intertwined together. You don't have a choice.
Yeah. That's why she got your chair back up.
Sounds good.
I'll be alright.
Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Gino, are we doing music?
No, go ahead.
Alright, cool. Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, welcome to the Round Table live on HamiltonRadio.net, channel HR2. I'm your host, John Brecco, here with the people who were helping me interview Dominique Monroe last week, Ashley and Sierra.
Hello.
What's up, guys?
Hello, hello.
And here's the difference that we're gonna have in this show today. I was actually supposed to have a completely different guest, but that didn't end up happening. I ended up losing all my contacts. I got a new phone, so there was no way to get in contact with her, and that's just unfortunate, but who cares? Anyway, the first drum roll we're going to do is for the topic, and then the second one we're going to do is for another person who decided to come on last minute out of the kindness of his heart.
Decided.
I mean, we had to, like, chant his name and everything, but at the end of the day, he decided.
They locked the door on me. I couldn't get
He's
out.
awesome. He needed to be here.
Danny, what kind of psycho shit did you do to him when we were chanting his name? All right, but all right, but anyway, drum roll, please. All right. The topic of the day is Zodiac.
Woo-woo!
As you guys could tell from last week's show, that little talk about it went on a lot longer than I planned. So I figured since, hey, I wasn't supposed to go that long, but I figured since it went on that long and I know these guys can talk about it more, I figured it was a good idea to do it just to be able to have a topic this week. And the next drum roll we're going to do is for the man sitting to the far left. So why don't we get another drum roll in for this man, please? That was weak. It is the man, the myth, the legend. I make it sound like you haven't seen him in years, but you actually saw him probably a half hour ago on the DJ Daddy show. His name's Jordan White. How you doing, my man?
Okay.
You feeling all right?
They call me Pee Wee Herman, though.
He was doing a bunch of impressions earlier. He actually sounded a bit like Christopher Walken.
Did you know?
Did you know? All right.
Cohagen, give these people air. You know what that's from? Total Recall.
Shit. I did Napoleon Dynamite earlier, actually, at work. You remember that?
No.
Bro, I did it on Snapchat. You had the filter going and everything. Like, you had the right filter where it looked like I had the glasses, and I was just like, Timmy, you fat lord, come get some dinner.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I can't believe you forgot about that.
Oh,
I am
behave.
I am ashamed of you, ma'am. Okay, so I figured it also was going to be a good idea to have Jordan on here because these guys were in a conversation about Zodiac for like 20 minutes as I was trying to set up. So I'm like, we already pretty much dragged him in here. He might as well just come on with us.
And he has a lit chart.
He does.
He does.
From what we know, anyway.
Lit. What does lit mean?
Lit,
Great.
Like
Oh.
awesome.
Sweet.
You got to remember, I was listening to that conversation. The year you gave was 82. He's not as young as he looks. Yo, I'm not gonna lie.
I love it.
Yo, listen,
So
bro.
great.
Listen. I thought this man was our age, though. I really did.
No, I thought it too when I first walked in.
Yeah. But anyway, so why don't you guys rattle off some of his chart since it's so lit?
All right. Well,
Well, because you did that before the show. I was going to say if he's going to talk that long, I might as well, like, do it on here. but you guys kind of already beat me to it. So let everybody know his chart and what that means.
Okay, well, should we go into what a chart is?
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
think we need to
go to that
over,
first.
Like
Alright.
the overview of what some of these placements mean before throwing zodiac signs in there.
I mean, you can do that. I was just letting you have the floor with it.
All right,
I
take
don't know how to
take it,
introduce
Ashley.
it.
You got this.
Okay, so basically your zodiac chart is a chart that is, you know, based on what day you were born in the year, where, and what time. And based on all of that, it's how each planet is aligned during that moment that you were, you know, born. And with that, each basically in each planet you get assigned a zodiac sign, and each planet is like a placement in your life, and the zodiac sign is basically how you are in that aspect of your life. So, you know, you have your sun sign, which is, you know, your core being. It's who you are underneath
Down
it
to your
all.
core.
No, like your subconscious thoughts, the way you think.
Okay,
Like, we're
that's what
talking
it
about
is?
the moon, right?
Sun.
That's
Sun.
this.
Oh,
Yeah.
sun. Sun is kind of like everything that goes in between, and then we have the moon there. All right.
That's what she said, but
All right, Brecco. Anyway, and then we have the moon.
And then you have the moon. That's like basically what she said. Like
It's like your subconscious thoughts, the way you think, your inner self. So picture if you were gonna have like your sun, your rising, and your moon. It's kind of like a present. So the present itself or the wrap.
planets are kind of like what, like more so we focus on, because
okay.
it gives more of an understanding of who the person is, whereas the outer planets are kind of like how they like are in like more deep like subconscious layers, where that's more of like planets you want to read if you want to know more about yourself, instead of like, you know, that you don't really show to people.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like an internal learning,
It's
whereas
kind of
like
like subconscious things.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Really, you only need to know like the inner planets because
Yeah.
everything else is kind of very personal. So that they are very intense. Scorpios feel some even say the deepest because they are so emotional. Though it's always like kind of behind closed doors or under like swept under the rug, and not really like it's not something you would express around other people generally. It's kind of something that it's so personal to you that it would really bother you to express it, or it would take a lot of trust, which doesn't happen often with Scorpios. So then we have your Mercury being in Gemini. You're very straightforward. That's probably some like Ashley would say, is the best placement to have in your Mercury because they're the masters of communication. So they know how to communicate. Snare sign, they're very open-minded, easygoing. wanna
Yeah,
proceed
you
a
also
little.
have like, you know, a lot of like ideas in your head. You go from one idea to the next. You're never like, you can never really kind of like just get stuck on one thing when it comes to like wanting to like communicate. It's also the fact that it's very like as she was saying, easygoing. Like you're very go with the flow. It's very natural. And like if you have trouble with communicating, it also could be because of the fact that you are an earth sign. Earth and air aren't really the best match for each other, and that could cause conflict. However,